Hello, welcome to Santuário Lunar. In this video I'm going to talk about the goddess Bast. I'm going to tell you her story, her archetype, some curiosities. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to ask you right now, please give your thumbs up, subscribe my channel, share this video with your friend, access my Ko-fi page for some freebies there and for ordering a personalized tarot reading too. Let's start. Bast, the daughter of the sun. To start, let's understand the origin of Bast. Bast is the daughter of Atum, or the daughter of Ha, or the daughter of Atum Ha. So she's the daughter of the sun. And this aspect we already understand that she is considered to be a fertility goddess. She's related to fertilization. She gives life. Bast is also considered to be an aspect of the eye of Ha itself. So in this aspect, we understand that she protects Ha, she pleases Ha, but she also attacks everybody who tries to threaten Ha. So at the same time, she can be a good goddess, a calm one related to happiness, related to comfort. She's also related to destruction, to attack, to protection, a fierce protection. And because of this, Bast was not usually depicted with a cat face or as a whole cat. She was usually depicted as a lion goddess. And due to this, we have a confusion between Bast and Sekhmet, the lion goddess. In fact, they are very similar, but they are different deities. Some suggest Bast and Sekhmet are the manifestations of a same goddess, two different aspects of the same deity. But actually they are two different deities. We can interpret as manifestations, but they have different stories. Bast has this dual side, as I just mentioned, and Sekhmet is fiercer, is more dangerous, is much more destructive than Bast. Around the second millennium before Common Era, Bast starts to be depicted with a cat face or as a cat, and then she starts getting more attributed related to joy, to happiness, to dance, to tenderness, but she never left aside this aggression side. Just like cats, they can be everything, they can be good all the time, but suddenly they can be aggressive, and Bast is like this. And then Bast is said to protect everything so fiercely that she could cast plagues and she could cast curses. So there's an ancient Egyptian spell teaching the conjurer or the performer to pretend to be a daughter or a son of Bast, so her plagues won't be inflicted upon the practitioner. Just one more thing to differentiate Bast and Sekhmet. Both are the daughters of the sun. And there's a text in the 12th dynasty that compares a king to them. So when this king treats his people in a good manner and he's a good king, he's considered like a Bast aspect, or he has Bast by his side. And when he punishes his people or when he is severe with them, he is considered a Sekhmet aspect, or he has Sekhmet by his side. Bast and the festivities of Bubastis. In Bubastis, Bast was highly venerated, and all the festivities, and mainly the annual festivity of Bubastis, was dedicated to Bast, because they were celebrating joy and ecstasy. Women would play and dance and sing and drink and expose their genitals in this annual party, and there was no limit for this happiness, there was no limit for this party. Think about a carnival we have today, a modern carnival. Some suggest that if we take this carnival to ancient Egypt only with women, we have the original party. I didn't find any proof stating that our carnival really started from Bubastis parties, but some suggest that this is the origin. So imagine a bunch of women together in a temple dancing, drinking, and being sexy, and then they provoke other women, they provoke men who are watching. Some even say they would sail on Nile River to provoke everybody who could be watching them. So this is the party for Bast in Bubastis, in her main temple. And more about this joy and happiness, Bast was responsible for bringing joy for the sun. So every morning she would expose her genitals to Ra, so he would smile and the sun would brighten up in the sky. When we see this through a political and social analysis, some suggest that the depiction of Bast as a cat is a way to say that men were able to tame women, just like they thought they tamed the cats. But actually neither the cats, neither the women can be tamed unless they want. The lives of a cat. More about Bast and cats. Some say that the legend we have today that cats have 9 or 7 lives started with Bast in Egypt, because this aspect of protection and taking care of everything, Bast would support and save any endangered people, mainly women and kids. So if there was a fire or another accident or natural event, Bast would send cats to rescue people. And the cats would go without fear, without being afraid of dying, because if they died, Bast would simply resurrect them, as long as it was necessary. Bast against the crime. There's a text in the first millennium before Common Era that depicts Bast. Bast is behind what happens actually, but there's a dual thing here, a dual view. A woman in this text is depicted as an evil thing, as something that will bring bad consequences. And when we analyze this today, we see that there's always an attempt to transform women into a bad thing. Just like I mentioned, they have to be tamed or something like that, to be careful with them. But in the end, the text actually highlights Bast's qualities as the bringer of justice. This is the text of Prince Setna and Tabobu, the daughter of a priest of Bast. And the story says that Setna, the prince, met Tabobu, and she was a beautiful and seductive woman, so he fell in love immediately. And then they were going together to a temple of Bast, and she made him sign some documents that he would give all his properties and all his possessions to her, to Tabobu, including her kids that would be killed and be used to feed the cats and dogs in the temple. So he signs the documents. Then, when he's finally going to embrace Tabobu, he wakes up and there's no Tabobu, there's nothing around him. He is naked in the middle of a street. So actually this was Bast acting, because this prince had stolen a magical book or a grimoire from a tomb, and he was not supposed to get this book, and Bast was just punishing him. Then again, when we see this in a social perspective, we see this showing women as a bad being, just because she was seductive, she had to be an evil being. And then Setna is punished because of this, but no, actually he was being punished because he committed a crime, and Bast was just ensuring this. The archetype of Bast. So Bast is this dual goddess. She has these two aspects in her. She can take care, she can be tender, she can be a very adorable goddess, but she can also be very dangerous, punitive, and aggressive. Just like a woman, just like a cat. So this is the archetype of her. Bast represents every woman who's not afraid of being herself, who's not afraid of facing the bad things in life or facing the injustice around her. She can take care of the ones she loves, but she can also punish if she sees something wrong in front of her. She can be nice, she can protect her home, but she can also put everything on fire and send plagues and curses around her. She nourishes, she's happy, and she brings happiness for everybody around her. But when she is provoked, stay away from her. Bast plays the role she wants to play, but when she's not in the mood for playing a role, she defines the role, she defines the rules. She cannot be tamed, and she will never be tamed. So Bast represents this type of women who walk by the side of the ones she wanted to walk. And if she wants to walk alone her path, she will go alone. And nobody can say anything or nobody can prevent her, because she is free and she knows no limits. Bast is freedom, and she lives her life in a happy way, the way she wants to. How to connect with Bast? So the best way to connect with Bast, after understanding who she is and her archetype and her energies, is by celebrating joy, is by celebrating life, just like people did in Bubastis. So you can do a personal, a private party, you can celebrate, dance, sing, drink, do whatever you want to do. Be happy, be yourself. This way you please yourself and you also please Bast. So this is it. This is the video about Bast. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you really liked, as I said in the beginning, please give your a thumbs up, subscribe my channel, share this video with your friend, access my Ko-fi page for freebies and tarot reading. Thank you so much. See you. And if you're still here, why don't you stay a bit longer? Here you find a playlist with all the goddesses I've mentioned. Here you find a playlist with all the spells and witchcraft studies. Here a playlist with all the 5 lessons I've learned from the goddess. And here you can subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you so much.